Okay, so we're just after midday on, or 12:36 should date to be precise, on Tuesday 18th of August. I don't know if you can spot any Brummies here in the crowd, or the managing director, or any member of West Midlands Police, or someone with sufficient authority to hand off the sort of laptop that I've got. None of these people are actually present here at this particular time, so maybe we can't see them. The problem again with this thing being in the way is you can't see Fred, and therefore if you come here to think, you can't really think because there's this giant thing in the way, and you've got Fred looking down at justice here, so the military significance of this fortress is not lost on the British, and here you've got these two crucifixes keeping us ethical while we do this. So the aim is not just to turn Birmingham into rubble for the sake of it, it's turning it into rubble because the factory has gone wrong. A gear broke some time ago and it's been bouncing around the gears, causing things to whine and creak. We know this because of the unexploded bomb by the expressways. That had to be disarmed. The city ground to a halt over a period where we couldn't get to work because of the incompetence of the Labour government couldn't sort that out after the war, and at this point they can't sort out the bins either. The problem is that Lindsay was bang on the money. The stuff they were using is to mass corruption, and because we work in the anti-corruption department, the fiercest one, by the way, in the city of Birmingham, because you cannot train people like us. To do this job, you require a certain set of skills, which is being so large that people can scream in your face and you can sit there and not care what they think, because you have the authority of the state backing you up. So at my time of life, my job is not actually to go out to people's properties, bang on the door and pull them out physically. It's going to police and bailiffs who do that for me for money. So with a spreadsheet, I say, go and tackle this person. They violated the court's instruction. We have the legitimate authority of the police. Go and nick them. And if they resist, you can do whatever you like to them. I can talk to people in that tone of voice because that is the case, and that should be the case with the bureaucrats. So the people I attack are generally poor and vulnerable, cannot deal with me coming at them because they don't have the sort of lives that would let them do that. So in every conversation we say, well mate, you may want to go and speak to a solicitor. So it doesn't matter how worthless they are, you've got someone who's an advocate. So I come at them, they're this giant squishy blob who absorbs all my aggression and says, sir, no, I'm sorry sir, my client is innocent because the law says so. But in Birmingham, there are giant squishy blobs of corrupt bureaucrats who are hiding behind computers and refusing to engage in the criminal justice system. One of the key culprits is Deborah.Agentieri, who is heroically diving in the way of the managing director of Birmingham City Council because these women want money and power. It's a very noble aim to go along with a failing political project which has already created lots and lots of corpses in a bureaucratic sense since 2020, let alone the history of serious violence, including piles of corpses that has been suggested to the managing director via a casual memo from the head of the McGraths. If this woman is hiding in her office by midday tomorrow, it is fairly obvious that given these sort of witness statements being fired into nuclear-defended bunkers, the woman should be pulled out of her office with a camera in her face, with West Midlands Police interviewing her under caution as to what she is doing by pretending to run a local authority. If your court officers are trying to use satellite communications technology to engage in the legal process, then the city of Birmingham is fucking up. That shouldn't have to be the case. What should have been the case is I walk out of my house, walk round to a very pleasant house with the criminal defence solicitor Errol Robinson, have a cup of tea. What we've actually done is said, well, fuck this, my colleague can have it, you have it, mate. She was clearly attacked by the same local authority I was. You deal with the low-level garbage first, and I will stay in Scotland and tear them apart from orbit. If you'd like to actually carry on the old man's work in an honest fashion, please feel free. I've given you my address. The Brummies won't have it. You can come and find me in Edinburgh. I'm very easy to find. I'm pretty hard to miss. So if you people want to get off your arse and be honest, I'm either here or the building down that way. So if I'm too scary to come up here in the courtyard, come down there and I'll be in the actually scary building, because down here you're supposed to be honest if you're working in the British legal profession. If you can't go into that building and tell the truth, you're out, because we actually have the authority of the state via that building down there. The laptop can be turned in down there, the laptop can be turned on down there if you allow a data link. We can have a chat with Sigrid about occupational health and safety at work, all that low-level garbage. But at the moment, you're refusing to because Deborah.Agentieri is declaring that none of this stuff actually matters because she has some kind of authority via this fake bureaucrat she's created. The authority she's resting on is an email box she conjured up. We're still firing stuff into it every day, just take the piss out of her as her career falls apart. But if you'd like to physically find her, I'd like to prosecute her personally for damages against me, the family, all that kind of stuff. So this is the current turd that won't flush in the Birmingham bureaucracy, the last intersectional activist who thinks she can be an intermediary, be a power broker in sort of a Starmer-esque fashion, but no, we're just going to nick her and put her into Winston Green. So find her please. G. Orwell 8484, or if you cite this woman, any sightings please, we'll happily take them. But to be sensible, if you just point her out to police, so people who should have the legitimate authority of the state, there's people who wear uniforms, they drive around in cars, some of the ones down here have military police on the side, so these are quite serious ones, so if you point her out physically to those guys, and if they won't come and speak to her under caution, just point her out to me and to ask them why not. Because she's engaged in serious organised crime. So midday tomorrow, further on, I'm going to do whatever I want to do for the rest of the day while police get their arse in gear. Any intermediary between the city of Birmingham and Edinburgh, I would greatly appreciate your help.